a major investment banker at Bear Stearns, like
Mm-hmm.
that's a hell of a come up story.
Some people are
Now
good
and then you're
manipulation.
asked to leave under circumstances that never have been revealed, and then you open up your own firm, J Epstein firm, managing billionaires' money. And no, and you see what I'm saying? And nobody's sitting here saying that's
He
pretty.
got
Because
he
it's all about, in that case, it would be all about not what you know, it's going to be who
who
you
you
know.
know. He got put in
Because
that
if you
position.
started as a man,
Exactly.
right, because you get to, a lot of people are good. They can talk their ways into a lot of different connections. And all you need is the right connections to put you in the positions of where you need to be. And once you have those connections, you broaden them. And then you caress the ones that you already have so that you can stay there. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one for you, man. They say one out of 4 women say that they rather be single than teach another man how to treat them. Is that necessarily true? Would you rather be
Mm,
single than to be with another man after dealing with one man?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess as a woman, I'm supposed to help you. Like as a woman, you're the helper to your man. So it's like I'm helping you, but when it comes to like I guess that means I teach you some things, but if I have to teach you everything, it's kind of like it defeats the purpose of the family dynamic. Like how do you lead if you don't know anything? And if you're not leading, that means I'm having to lead. And I can see where some women might be like, I don't necessarily want to take on that responsibility.
You know, I like some women be like, yo, I don't want to start over. After I heard you say that plenty of times,
But you
like,
know, it's not really about like
Hell yeah, I'm
starting
not starting over for nobody.
over for me. Like it is like if it says teach, you have to teach another man how to treat me. No, that's the problem. Then you don't need to be with
but
me.
that's
I
no way
don't
of starting
no,
over. If you meet
no,
another man, you're gonna have to treat
right. Well,
him
one
your
he
way.
should already know how to treat women, right? So there should already be some. And this is where we all miss it because that's why women say, "Oh, I would rather you going to ask me or not."
I'm
So
not.
you would rather stay single because you don't want to start all over with that. But coming, and that's because all of the relationships with the majority of society today, you got to teach a motherfucker how to be a man, how to treat a woman, how just to be in a relationship with you before you even get to the relationship part. I don't want to have to teach you how what your position is supposed to be just so I can turn around and be the woman in mine. I want you to already know that. So that's why women
Yeah.
stay single because it's not like I'm jumping into the relationship and we can take it from here. I gotta show a nigga this. Can you open the door for me? I mean, you talking too loud? Can you have some respect? Can you not curse? You know what I'm saying? You got to do too much that his mama should have did. You having to raise a whole nother child, so it's like I'd rather be by myself, and it shouldn't
Yeah.
have to be that way.
Yeah.
See, but is there a difference to knowing how to treat a woman to how you treat a Pacific woman? Like certain women, every Pacific woman want to be treated different. Certain shit that another woman allow you to do, you can't do with another woman. And all men might think
Right,
certain
but
shit.
let's raise our hand on it. What are you trying to do with this woman that you couldn't do with the last one? What is it? Cheat? What are you introducing something positive that you couldn't do with the last woman to this? You get what I'm saying? So usually when men say that, it usually comes from some toxic shit. Oh, I couldn't run around on the last woman. Now this one set boundaries. Now I got a problem. No, that goes into teaching him how to be a man.
Mm.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it also goes to there is a difference in treating a woman and a specific woman, but it's like a diagram. It overlaps. There's some basics, like Kimmy said, there are some foundation basics that you should know. Like I shouldn't have to tell you, hey, can you stop calling me a bitch? I feel like across the board, that is something that you should already know that it's not okay for you to stand over me and belittle me. Like those are certain things. It's like, nigga, it don't matter what woman you're with. That shouldn't even be something that's in your character to do. Now, if we're on if you have the foundation of like, I respect you, and maybe in a conversation I might say something or that triggers you, or you might say something that triggers me, that's when you learn like, oh, okay, so maybe this, when I say it in this type of tone, it makes you feel some type of way. Okay, so maybe that's something I could compromise where I can still get my point across and feel heard, but maybe I don't need to say it like that. it's like that's when you start tweaking and fine-tuning certain things so that we can basically have peace in the home. But it's like I shouldn't have to tell you off the bat, keep your hands off me. Or if you don't
Right.
like what I'm doing, so you grabbing me by my shirt. Like, nigga, I don't have to teach you that. Keep your hands to yourself.
Right. That's how you wean out. Okay, that's how you get to know what a person is about. But like you just mentioned, I can't talk to this person like I did to that person. But the boundary, you already shouldn't have to even have that conversation. And that's why women be like, man, fuck it. I already had to do it the first time. I shouldn't even have to tell another nigga, especially in our age group. There's no reason why you should have to come in and start from the basics with some of these grown men.
Sometimes you
Right. And that's why women say, I'll just stay single. I've raised my kids, because these grown men don't know how to behave. And it's the same thing for women, because women are out here just as immature as men are. But sometimes it's easier to be like, you know what? I'd rather not be in a relationship with somebody because I don't even have to go through this.
I heard somebody say that a man is only mature as his last relationship.
I don't know. I guess but I would say that for anybody, because with every relationship, you learn something. Like once it ends, you should be looking at it as an example of what you will do and what you won't do again. So you should grow. So just as a man should be that, and that's the part of being a relationship. So if you come to a point to where you're in your 40s and you've had a healthy relationships with people and you've learned something, by the time you reach your next person, you should have brought a little bit more to the table than what you had before. That's the part of growth in relationships, but people don't have that because social media tells you what you're supposed to be saying and how you're supposed to be acting, how you're supposed to be treated. Everybody wants a bag to get flied out. Nobody's respecting, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like those types of boundaries are hard to discuss in this environment now because everybody has lost their damn mind when it comes to relationships. So sometimes it's best to just be by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, and nowadays, a lot of people, we talk about like the divorce rate and people are just rushing into marriages and stuff like that and rushing into relationships because it's like, I don't want to be alone, right? I don't want to compromise either though. I don't want to sit here and have to work on something. Like we look at love of people who have been married 30 years and we're like, oh yeah, that looks easy. Like you just keep loving people. But it's like unconditional love means, do you love me in the same way on the days you don't feel like it? Because every day you're not going to love the person you're with. Like some days we go through seasons and times in our life where it's like, this motherfucker get on my last nerves. But it's the root of I love you that I'm still going to push through and love. Most people don't want to do that. When things get complicated and life starts closing in, our natural reaction is to cut off from the world. So it's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It's about me. And nowadays people don't have that. We're not really teaching the next generation or even in my age range. We don't know how to do that. We either going to stay because we don't want to be lonely or we leave because we don't want to compromise. It's not really anything productive going on in these relationships besides fucking and having kids. That's the only thing productive that's really coming out of these relationships.
That's it. And you know what, twin? Me and Kat been together for like a long time. And I always look at older couples who are older than us. And you know how people ask them questions like, how did y'all stay together? And you guys are in your golden years. And they always say stuff like, communication and don't go to bed mad. And people just take and eat it. And I'll be like, man, bullshit. Because like you said, in all honesty, you may go to bed mad. You may be upset sometimes, but your love supersedes that, but you have to grow within it. And a lot of times, it takes people a long time, if you're able to be in a long relationship, to recognize that. And that's why it becomes even more precious the older you get. But the younger you are, there's no value to that. Like you said, people are ready to just, the soonest something happen or a person change, they're ready to be out. And all of that I loved you and the wedding pictures and all of the vacations really meant nothing because you couldn't take the hard parts. It's not being in long-term relationships is hard. It's hard because sometimes I feel like I'm 10 times older than Gangsta Cat. Y'all seeing me in here partying turned up and I'm like, bedtime, work in the morning. Like, and sometimes you don't expect, and then sometimes I'm in here goofy and he's not in the mood for me. And there's just those things. People are at different stages at different times and it doesn't always connect. And people now, when they see something changes up, they're ready to move. They're not even ready to like find out what happens next. Because we eventually get back on the same page, but that's the growth of it, the fun that we get to have, the experiences that we get to have. People miss out on that because the value is not the same.
Yeah. And I think on top of that is a lot of times sometimes we can give good advice and preach good wise words, but sometimes people will take those wise words and use them recklessly, because we tell young folks to, live your life and experience life, and a lot of them will say, well, every grass seems to be greener. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything's like, well, this is complicated, so somebody out there will be less complicated. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. And then it's this false fake reality of belief. And then when disappointment sets in, now you're bitter and you're angry and you feel like all niggas ain't shit or all women are liars and they ain't no good. And it's like, nobody told you to keep jumping from grass to grass to grass. We told you to sit your ass down and learn how to enjoy the grass that you have. If the grass is dead, make it grow again, nigga. Put in the work, make it green again. Don't just try to hop because you see, oh, this looks complete over here, so I want to go there. You know what I mean? So that's why I say we
saying that earlier. What did you say?
I was talking.
No, Bev was saying that earlier. Just what you said. It's complete. How did you say it earlier? You said everybody wanna go where they think they can see something that's already put together. Yeah. Nobody want to put in the work. Everybody always want to say, okay, it's already put together, so we good. We here.
Not facts. And the fucked up part about it is when they jump from grass to grass, all they doing is killing the grass that they jumping on. You done jumped over there thinking this is complete, and you destroyed what that person has already built. And then, oh well, I thought you was gonna maintain it. Well, how was I supposed to maintain it? You was fucking it up. Now you jump somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, it goes both ways. I don't think people really understand that. Like, just sit where you at. Sometimes you can, how do I put it? Like, sometimes you can enjoy life while being stationary. It's okay. There are some seasons it's okay to be stationary. You don't have to constantly be moving and changing and trying to keep up with a life that you really don't know nothing about.
Right. Something that's unfulfilling.
Yep.
It's okay to be patient.
But and like I was saying, it goes back to what people are seeing in society. Nobody's patient. You have access to everybody's DMs. While chicks and niggas are sitting right next to each other, they in somebody else's inbox. And as soon as that bait clicks, it's a wrap. They done with you and they on to the next. People move so fast. People on dating, it's like people are moving so fast they don't have the time to slow down.
And that's caused my problems too. It's too much access. You could just easily be in somebody's
it's right in your home. You ain't got to worry about somebody going out because it's right in your hand.
And you ain't even seeing a lot of people okay with not seeing a motherfucker creating a whole relationship with a nigga. Niggas be creating whole relationships.
What you think the show Catfish was
with
about?
Niggas that they don't even know.
Right. They make episodes and episodes of Catfish. Evidently, people have been sitting around in their homes talking back and forth to other people they've never seen in their whole life.
And don't give a fuck about
holding whole relationships.
And people that they don't give a fuck about.
Yep. And that's why it goes back to when people are, we're really in a time where nobody really knows they self. We only know what society or what our mamas told us or the narrative as Black people, how we're supposed to be. It's always outsiders telling you how you're supposed to be. And you're trying to accept that. And inside of you is like, nah, that's not how you're supposed to be. So now you're battling with, what am I really? And you think that, oh, well, maybe because I'm not seeking enough. And it's like the seeking is what's destroying you, because you're not seeking within yourself to sit there and say, I see I have certain habits or I see certain desires. I wonder where these things are stemming from. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men, they say, well, men can just pick up and leave. Well, I mean, yeah, they watch their daddies do it and they watch their mamas be fine.
Women do it too.
They watch their mamas be strong Black women when a nigga walked out. So they don't have no sympathy for you. They're going to be like, you're going to be strong just like my mama. You don't need me.
Hey, look.
You can do it by yourself.
My aunt walked out on my uncle and left him with all the kids. Women walk out on niggas too.
Right, but how was her childhood?
Huh?
But how was her?
I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Usually you see something somewhere, something has. But see, twin, that causes people to have to do the work, and nobody wants to do that because now that makes you have to go inside yourself and try to heal all of the things that happened to you or that you were exposed to, so that you could be a better who you are today. And some people can't take that travel down memory lane. They don't like to hashtag it, so it's best to become a whole new person and act like it don't exist. But it fucks up your life because those attributes never go anywhere. You never become that stable woman that you need to be to really raise healthy kids. Because all it is that's what they talk about, generational curse. That you are passing the same shit that your parents went through and down to yours. And that's what recreation. If people say they don't believe in recreation, well, your children are recreation of everything that you learned, because you're going to only teach what you've learned. And if you don't intervene and learn something different to help the kids move forward, they're going to be just like you, just like your grandparents, and just like their parents.
And even 10 times worse. That's why I be laughing. I sit there and I watch people, parents will sit there and be like, I don't know how my son turned into a murderer. Well, you were a thief. So
lies, right? I'm always like, lies. Who are you trying to?
You see what I'm saying? It's like, I wish people would understand that those type of I don't even want to use the word sin, but I'll say those type of habits, they evolve into bigger things. So when you let the little stuff, he didn't watch you steal and check fraud, and now he's engaging in that, and now he's in a situation where it goes left and he kills somebody. It's not a far stretched thought of how could he do this. I mean, it's pretty logical. But we don't want to take accountability and say, oh, so I'm a part of his downfall. We want to say, oh, it's the world, it's his friends, it's the music. No, mama, it's you.
It's you. And like I said, that means self-reflection. Don't nobody want to do that. And also too, some people are living in their own world. They don't even recognize this shit. Just as we speaking about it, another person, those mamas out there, they believe they was good. They was handling the business. They, and everybody says, oh, everybody was dealt a circumstance. Every single person on this planet has a circumstance, and we all trying to do the best with what the hell we got. So there's really no excuse, because I'm trying to be a good mom just like you should have tried to be, especially if you didn't have a good mom or a good father. Yeah, you should want to do it more. But people get caught up in their own problems and their own selfishness. That's why they out there stealing, because they don't give a fuck what the kids are seeing. They out doing drugs and hanging out all types of nights and not being responsible for the kids because they don't give a fuck, because they feel like I'm already fucked up. I'm on drugs. So now the kids gotta suffer and they watch this shit. It's
my life already over. Like I always say, that blessing when that baby first born, oh, this baby changed my life. 5 years later, fuck that kid.
Oh, right. Not fuck that kid.
That's what they fuck that kid. Now the baby, you was buying the baby all these designer onesies. Now you can't even get the baby a coat during winter.
Right. But school supplies. You stand in the line for school supplies. Do you know how cheap school supplies are? 25 cents, 75 cents. But bitches be buying lashes, getting their nails done, wigs, fucking clothes, all the shit they got to look good. But stand in a line for 75-cent notebooks, 25 cents. Your priorities fucked up. $20 buys you a whole lot of fucking supplies. If you don't stop, but then they make it because it becomes somebody else's responsibility at that point, not yours. It's easy to just put your little name on the list and stand in line. And not to say that people can't afford. There's a lot of people that can't afford it, but there's a lot of people that we're watching on social media live means that we know they could be taking care of their responsibilities.
Yep. And that's why I say you'll cry when a nigga break your heart, but you won't cry to break in yourself. A nigga, you won't sit there and say, you know what, let me do my self-work because it hurts. This nigga been hurting you for years and you bounce back. So what's the difference?
Damn, that's deep though. You ain't lied about that. Some of these females be getting for years. Years.
They won't work on themselves.
It's a blame game. You got to remember, it's always easier to blame somebody else. Always.
Yeah, because it feels good. It makes you feel better to say it's somebody else's fault. I've accepted where I'm at, than to say, you know what? even though it was somebody else's fault. Even though, like, Cap, when we had that one conversation, when I was talking about my past relationship, it's like, yeah, they did me dirty, but if I really sit back and be real with myself, there was a lot of shit that I have to take accountability for because you let that shit slide. We wouldn't have even got to all of this if you would have nipped it in the bud here. So why didn't you nip it in the bud here? Well, I let my love cloud my logic. Why? You see what I'm saying? It's really a why to go back down and say, well, I mean, shit, a bitch just wanted to be loved. Let's just keep it real. I wanted to be loved, and even if that meant allowing someone to disrespect me and cross boundaries that shouldn't have been crossed, I was willing to put up with it with hopes that it was going to change.
Or why
That's just the
couldn't it be
reality.
like, or why can't it be I love the way he loved me? Sometimes you could love a way somebody love you, but not like their ways.
Well, I will say that I can't love the way you love me if I'm constantly searching for you to love me.
Well,
If I'm
then
sitting here saying I want you
well,
to
then,
love me
well,
in a certain way,
then you didn't. Then you can't say you wanted to be loved because you never was getting that love.
well, that's the thing. That's what kept me around, of believing that one day it would change. You love somebody based off hope to say, you treat me like shit today, but we do have good times. So maybe those good times will multiply if I just stick around. In reality, no, they don't multiply. You know what I mean? Now they're used as a way of manipulation, because the love was never real. Like, I love you, but I don't love myself. That's where it comes down to. I want you to love me in a way that I wish I could love myself.
Mm.
And that will put you in a fucked up situation and make you feel less of yourself as a woman, because you're saying, why am I not good enough? And it's like, well, shit, baby, why are you not good enough for yourself? And that's a hard question sometimes to swallow, because sometimes you don't know where to start. Like, where did I start not feeling loved? I didn't went through my whole life not thinking about it. Now you have to take those days and sit down. Like, did I feel loved at 19, 18? Like, where did the love begin to shift? And like I said, sometimes that's hard to be honest and say I've never felt love. Like, that shit sounds really shitty. And some people don't want to be honest and say that. But shit, sometimes that's the reality of it.
Nah, you ain't never lied though. Sometimes you be chasing something from somebody that it's almost like a high. You get it one time and then you steady chasing for it like you're gonna get it again. And
Because
you
you
don't
don't know
never
how to give that
get
high
it.
to yourself. That's why I said, when we had that conversation about me not starting over, that's why I was adamant, like, I'm not starting over, because I now know how to love myself. I know
So
who I
basically,
am.
so basically, you understand where she coming.
Yeah, I do. I get. I know who I am as a person, and I'll say for me personally, because I can't speak for all women, but for me, I need to be with somebody who knows who they are, because I'm over that stage in my life of trying to put training wheels on a nigga bike and walking him through to teach him who he is as a person. If I took the work and the tears and the depression and the anxiety to find me, well, nigga, you just gonna have to do that for you. And I can't do that for you. I could be a friend though. I could support you and be a hell of a friend, but in a relationship, nah, I can't do it.
You couldn't do it, twin.
Nah, I can't do it.
Why not?
I'm
Why not?
not saying you
Why
got to
not?
have it all figured out, but you got to know who you are as a man.
See, but you know how it go too. A lot of these people be pretending. They start off pretending. One minute they play in the right hand. Next minute they going left.
Nah, you ain't lying. But that's why, what's that saying? Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not moving in with you. I'm not having kids with you because I've been with you for a year or 2 years. I mean, I've been friends with bitches for 5 years and found out they was on some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kicking it with you every single day. We share meals and sleeping on the couch and all of that. So it's like,
Mm.
people do change. Sometimes people, how do I put it? It's like sometimes a bitch assness lays dormant in motherfuckers, and sometimes certain things will trigger that thing to react, and then you see when certain circumstances, Like I always say, how niggas really feel about you when they mad. I've been friends with you for this long and you never said this, but now you're upset. So it was dormant. It's been sitting in you for a while.
Yeah,
But
they
bitches
pull
will
a
be like,
Ted.
well, I've been with him for a year, so he's a good man. Bitch, you don't know that.
Yeah, basically like what Ted did. He was cool with me for 6 months, never said none of that to me. Then all of a sudden, he got a whole bunch to say.
That's why I say
Like
it be
that.
dormant inside of them. It's how you really feel. But like I always say, it shouldn't take you